Hi, everybody, and welcome to Generation XYZ of Betting. I'm Kevin Ferguson, the Money Man, and I've got Oliver Keohane, the Money Boy, and I've got Shakes Rampedi. Great to be back after a week of the Nations League, or whatever it's called. I mean, it's I think most people don't really understand what this tournament is about, but we won't get into that. We've got so much to cover. Um, Shakes, are you excited about this weekend's Premier League action?
Yeah, no, guys, I'm really excited that the Premier League is back. I mean, obviously we've got the Merseyside derby that's coming up, which is Everton versus Liverpool. I think there's a chance for Everton to show that you guys think you belong here. And then we also got Arsenal going up against Manchester City, or Man City at home being against Arsenal. And then the MTN 8, which is a South African competition, is back.
So let's get into it then. With I mean, could you have a bigger game than Everton Liverpool to kick off the Premier League after the 2 week break?
Yeah, no, I mean this is probably, yeah, you couldn't have had a bigger game, I guess, because of the fact that Everton in such form, and then Liverpool have a point to prove because they lost 7-2 to Aston Villa. So Everton, on the other hand, I mean, if Carlo Ancelotti and and Dominic Calvert-Lewin and co are serious about finishing in the top four, or maybe even competing for a title, they have to get something out of this game.
Yeah, and I look, you're not gonna. I think I got 18 to 1 odds on Everton finishing in the top four at the beginning of the season. You're not getting that anymore. You know, I think they're 3 to 1. Um, what's your prediction for this game, Shakes? It's certainly one that I'm happy to amplify more than any other one, than the other games that are coming up. So let's chat about what's your thoughts on this game.
Yeah, look, I mean, obviously Sadio Mane coming back for Liverpool is very important.
Yeah.
He was out, and he is back now. He's training, were shown and everything. And I think what will hurt Liverpool a little bit is the fact that Alisson will not be around for 6 weeks. So they're going to have to go with Adrian. So I can see Liverpool conceding a goal or two, but I can actually also see Liverpool scoring three or two. I mean, three or four. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Liverpool to win this one. What do you think, Oliver?
I'm thinking 3-1 to Liverpool. Similar thoughts to you. I think Everton will definitely score. They got the power, and I think obviously Alisson out's a big factor. But Sadio Mane back, and I think Liverpool are going to want to come out kind of guns blazing after the poor showing against Aston Villa, and they're a team that's capable of scoring 3 or 4.
They're a team that's capable of giving up 6 or 7 as well.
That's why there's one in there.
I think after their huge loss to Aston Villa, it sort of shred that cloak of invincibility and
Yeah.
that cloak of invincibility off them. And I love what I've seen from Everton this year. You know, they've been class. I love Angelotti, James, Calvin Lewis. Sorry, Calvin Lewin, Richarlison. You know, they're gelling as a team. They've got some great chemistry. And I think this was going to be really tight. I think this is going to be a 1-1 game. I think it's going to
Sure.
be a draw.
What are the odds on that? Let's
Wow. 1-1. I mean,
one.
given I didn't see that coming because
I'm a big Klopp fan, you know. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, like some people would argue to say that Liverpool is probably the best time to play them after losing 7-2, but I don't think so, eh? I think they're gonna come out with a point to prove, yeah.
I think you're right, Jakes, and I think it's going to be a fantastic football game. But it's the other derbies between Everton and Liverpool have sort of flattered to deceive over the last little while. I think the last game was 0-0. It was, I'd rather watch paint dry or grass grow. I mean, it was a horrible game of football. I think it was the game straight. That's the game that we came back to from COVID, which was a terrible advertisement for the Premier League. But this game, it's got everything. Everton top of the table, their chemistry becoming better and better. James is just a pleasure to watch play football. Six. I think Calvin Lewin is 6 goals.
Yeah.
It's got all the ingredients to be a great game. And as much as I love Klopp and I do respect Liverpool, I just think Everton are a better team, a much better team, a better coach team this year, and I don't think Liverpool have what it takes to beat them. And I don't think I don't think a 1-1 draw is the worst result for Liverpool playing this team.
Wow. I mean, look, I mean, they've dominated this derby. Everton have only lost one this derby in 2011, I think. So I think this is big for Liverpool, especially the fact that they lost 7-2. So they have to beat Everton because of their dominance, firstly, and then the fact that they lost 7-2, and the fact that I think Liverpool have got better players individually. Everton have started well, like you said, but the games that they've played, other than Tottenham, you were expecting them to win regardless.
Yeah. No. Look, the beautiful thing about the Premier League and the beautiful thing about this game is it could go three ways. All three results are in play on this one, and it's a tough call. But then I am leading the competition between us, so you got to take that into account as well.
Like you should be.
I mean, you're the money man.
I'm the money man. So, Ollie, what are you saying?
I'm saying 3-1 to Liverpool.
3-1 Liverpool. Shakes?
Yeah, I'm actually going to go 3-1 as well.
Okay, I'm 1-1. I'm 1-1. Okay, so the next game up is Chelsea Southampton, I think.
Yeah, I liked what I saw from Chelsea against Crystal Palace. It was the bounce back that they needed, and they finally looked like it was the kind of result that team promises but just hadn't quite delivered on yet. I do, however, think that they're still a side that's capable of leaking a few goals. I think it's going to be really high scoring, and I'm going to go for a 4-2. I think Chelsea are going to put 4 past them. There'll be an early goal for Southampton, and then I think they might just leak one later in the game, something like that. So I might be looking at an over-under bet there too for goals, but 4-2 is my call, Chelsea-Southampton.
Shakes?
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think both teams will score. I do see both teams scoring. It's kind of crazy because, like Oliver said, the 4-0 win over Crystal Palace came, and then the international break came. So you don't know where they're at. And Southampton is tricky, man. It's very tricky, and both teams will definitely score. If I had to pick a winner, probably will say Chelsea 2-1.
Yeah, I like the way Chelsea's heading now. I still have a few concerns around the chemistry of that team, but it seemed to be heading in the right direction. Southampton are not notoriously known for not traveling well and playing at Stamford Bridge. I like Chelsea to win this game comfortably, 3-0.
Oh, nice.
Who's up next, guys?
City, Arsenal, big one.
Shakes, your team.
Shakes, are you offended that Arsenal are 5.78 to win?
Yeah. Yes, they are rated at 5.71 to win. Thing is, Arteta actually knows these players, and he's already beaten Pep before within the FA Cup. So I still do feel that Manchester City will be upset. They haven't been able to get a result against Leeds. They'll have to put this one right.
Well, they got a result against Leeds. They got a draw. They hung on for a
Some
draw.
people would beg for that.
Sure. They were underdogs, eh? No, for sure. I think if I was to pick a winner, I think Manchester City wins this one. I think Arsenal will score first, but City end up winning this one 2-1.
Got to be in agreement with you there. I think that's exactly how the game's going to go. 2-1.
Yeah, look, you're going to love me for this, I think, Shakes, but sometimes we're faced, you've got Aguero and you've got Jesus that are still injured, still in the training room. What's changed? What's improved since their 5-2 loss to Leicester and their 1-1 draw with Leeds, which they were lucky to hang on for a result? I rate Arsenal as a team in transition. Good young players. Yeah, it's at the Etihad, but I like Arsenal to get a result here. I like a 1-1 draw for a 1-1 or a 2-2 draw Arsenal Man City.
Not a bad call.
It's actually not a bad
I could definitely see it going 2-2 as well.
Yeah, it's just there's something about City that they've lost their shine, and I see Arsenal as a little they don't have the quality, but without Cunagüero and Jesus, Man City aren't the same team, and in defence they look a bit frail. So I'm gonna go for a 2-2 draw in this game.
Well, I mean, look, it's not a bad bet. At a draw, it's 4.83 on Betway, so
It could be my worst week ever.
sorry.
It could be my worst week predicting ever with the way I'm going, but you never know.
Could be your best.
I'm waiting for the Leeds game, but yeah, I think
Last game of the schedule.
I just see City winning it, man. I really I know they've not been the same. I know, but I just feel like something's gonna click for them against Arsenal for whatever reason.
Well, I'll tell you why I like jumping on these things now is because in the betting market, teams and brands get overvalued. Like the All Blacks were last week against Australia, 17.5-point favorites, and we're seeing reputational prices on teams like Man City, and even and on the bigger clubs, where they're trading off their brand and their expectation of what they were. And without those two guys in the team, they're not the same team. So I like a draw, and I think it offers good value. Let's move on to Newcastle Man United. Normally, I wouldn't even want to talk about this game. But there's something about it that also has, Solskjaer looked like a delinquent child who'd just been kicked out by his mum and dad after they lost their last game, a 6-1 beating to Tottenham. Now, how good is Tottenham and how bad are Man United? It's probably a combination of both.
Well, I mean, you got a bit of a form guide here. Newcastle, Tottenham 1-1. Tottenham, Man United 6-1.
Yeah.
I mean, look, Tottenham, again, shouldn't have drawn that game. But, this game could also potentially go to like a 2-2. 1-1 even.
It's a banana skin for Man United, isn't it? I mean, it's.
Well, I mean, they just continue to slip then. It's been.
Yeah, I mean they're like the Keystone Cups.
Yeah, it's a tough fixture for Manchester United because every time they play Newcastle away, it's always very tricky. And funny enough, I'm gonna go with a strange result and say Newcastle wins this one. I think United are still trying to find themselves. I think Ole doesn't know his best team. Apparently, there was a bust-up with Bruno Fernandes at half-time, hence why he got subbed over Tottenham. Just everything seemed all over the place, and I think Newcastle surprised everybody, and it's more questions on Manchester United and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And also, Cavani can't play because he's been in self-isolation. So I'm going Newcastle on this one.
I'll be putting $100 on Newcastle to win as well. 4.8.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, it's a tough game to predict. And when in doubt, go with a draw.
Can I quote you on that?
Yeah, when in doubt. Yeah, I don't like this bet. I'm not placing a bet on this game. I'll be a very interested spectator because I think if Man United lose, the volume becomes almost unbearable for Ole Gunnar, and he may well be the first one to be axed as the managers, in the coming weeks.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, so this is a huge game for Man United and specifically for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So I'm going to go with a draw. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw on this one.
Yeah, they're without Martial as well. So no Cavani, no Martial. You wonder how they're going to play with the front three that they used to. So it'll be very interesting. But I think Newcastle can do something here.
Yeah, maybe it's a 0-0 draw. Maybe Man United go there and try and get a point. Something I didn't think I'd be saying to myself. Or many Man United fans never thought that they'd be hearing. But they're just not a good team.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, they're not a great team at this moment.
They're notoriously overvalued as well.
Yeah, I mean, they are, for me, maybe a top 10. I think they can forget about the Champions League.
Well, I wouldn't say top 10, but they're definitely close to it.
Well, you top 15? Top 15?
I would probably say they are close to 10th. I wouldn't say they're 10th though.